Hey, Shalom, Akim Shalom. First and foremost, as always, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakudash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that taught us His truth and that's so teaching His truth. And as always, much peace, love, and salutation to the elect of Yahawah, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, that's pushing this word with all truth and sincerity. I'm the brother Tazamah from the Great Millstone Dallas camp, coming back today with another lesson. And Lord willing, this lesson will be edifying to the point. I don't want to make this lesson too long at all, because first and foremost, out of respect, I've never met these men that you see on the screen. Who you see here on the screen is on the left is Elder High Priest Ariah. In the middle you have King Masha. Then on the right you have Elder High Priest Yahawah. And these are definitely men who we believe in faith. All right, based upon, first and foremost, like I said, in faith, and also, too, just based upon the experience that our apostles and our elders, beginning with Elder Apostle Tahar on down, Elder Apostle Tahar, Elder Apostle Gabar, Elder Apostle Racha, all right, and Elder Apostle Around Lob, as well as the bishops and the elders, but, the men that actually were face to face with these men. We believe in faith and through the Spirit that these men, are notable men of Yahawah B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. These are our elders and our apostles, teachers. Okay, and the reason why I'm doing this lesson, is because I actually had a dream last night. And I'm not really the one to get many dreams like that. But I did pray about it after I had the dream. I prayed to Yahawah B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, pretty much if through the Spirit, if he wanted me to bring this lesson out, and here I am doing it. And in my dream, it was as if I was at the old school. It was like I was at the old school, but like I knew where I was, but then again, it was like I was watching a film in a sense, but it was like I was there. And specifically, I remember I do specifically seeing men sitting in the front. It was a group of men, who was facing a table, and there were men sitting at the table. In the front of the table, you had Elder Apostle Tahar sitting at the front of the table. But as well, next to Elder Apostle Tahar, like I said, it was crazy because, like I said, it was in my dream, but I knew who they were. You know what I mean? You had I also forgot to mention Salakia, Elder High Priest Shaw. And in my dream, like I've never seen Elder High Priest Shaw. I don't even know what he looks like. Maybe I've seen a picture of him on a video, or I'm not sure. But from my recollection, I don't know what he looks like. I just know from what the apostles and what the elders tell us, like he was like a big, burly kind of man. You know what I'm saying? I've never seen him though. I just have a vision in my head of what the apostles and elders say, what he looks like, and I get a vision in my own. I get a vision in my own mind about it. But in my dream, all these men were sitting down. Like I said, it was Elder Apostle Tahar. It was Elder High Priest Shaw sitting there, and I knew it was him. Like I said, I don't know what he looks like, but I knew it was him. And he would look like a younger man, And in the middle was King Masha. Once again, you see the picture here on the screen in the middle, right? But in my dream, he didn't look like this in the middle. Excuse me. Well, yeah, he didn't look like this. Like how you see him here in the middle, he didn't look like this. In my dream, he was a young man, but I knew it was him. And then next to King Masha, you had Elder High Priest Yahawah sitting on the left of him. Once again, he was a younger man. Now, he did look somewhat similar to the right, but like just minus the grays and the full head of hair. And I knew it was him. And then on the left of Elder High Priest Yahawah, excuse me, you had Elder High Priest Ariah, and they all were sitting in white, and they all had on white. They all had on white robes, and it makes me think of the scripture, which I'll get a precept real fast. I know it's in Revelation. Yep. And this is Revelation chapter 7, verse 13. And one of the elders answered, saying unto me, What are these which are arrayed in white robes? Which we understand and know that the white robes represents purity. It represents being clean. Okay. It says, and whence came they? And I said unto him, Sir, thou knowest. And he said to me, These are they which came out of great tribulation, and have washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. All right. And these are the men, like I said, through faith. And I've never met these men. Of course, Elder Apostle Tahar, he's here teaching, and I've had the blessing of actually, meeting him, being at his house, actually meeting him in person. And of course I've met Elder Apostle Gabar, Elder Apostle Rakaz down here in Dallas with us. Elder Apostle Rakaz was in my dream too. He was in the dream too, as I continue the dream. And Elder Apostle Ramlab, I've had the blessing of meeting these men, which I believe through the spirit and power of Yahawah Shemal Shai, that these are the men that Yahawah Shemal Shai set up to guide us. Now, Elder High Priest Ariah, who you see here on the left, currently right now he's not, in his right mind, but we believe that he is Joshua the high priest, and that the Lord is going to remove those filthy garments from off of him. If it be the Lord's will, that he's going to remove those filthy garments from off of him and put him in his right mind. The scripture says, my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith Yahawah Shemal Shai. So you got a lot of people that talk, all kinds of crap about Elder High Priest Ariah, just because he went off and started following Jermaine Grant, which he's now in the spirit world, and started teaching about, saying that he was the God sent comforter and things of that nature. And he started following after that doctrine that he's no longer a man of the Lord. Well, at the end of the day, you don't know Yahawah Shemal Shai's thoughts about this man. This man, through the spirit and power of Yahawah Shemal Shai, brought forth a lot of revelations. Excuse me. Even the breakdown of the 12 tribes chart, and many more of the other breakdowns. Now, were there things, as you'll hear the apostles and elders, speak on, were there things that he went off on and that have been corrected since? Yes. But I personally believe in faith and through the spirit that this is a man of the Lord. But like I said in my dream, they all had white on, but they all looked young. They all looked young. I remember seeing videos of Elder Apostle Tahar when he was younger. And how he looked, because there's videos of him when he was preaching when he was a younger man. And I remember being there. Like, it was like I was at the school, but I was at the school like I was in a classroom. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was in a classroom. That's the only way I could really put it. And there was an audience, staring at the table, but there was these men at the table. And I remember being there, and then King Masha stood up. And he stood up to shake my hand. You know what I'm saying? Like, and me, I don't, hey, I'm not nobody in this thing like that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just I came into other men's labors. I put it like that. You know what I'm saying? And I pray to Yahawah Shemal Shai that he keeps me, teaching and enduring it to the end, at the end of the day. But I remember him standing up, and I looked. Like I said, I was like, this is King Masha. But he looked young, but I knew it was him. He looked young. All of them looked young. And I remember seeing Elder Apostle Rakar walk in. Elder Apostle Rakar walked in, and he walked in and he saluted, King Masha. You know what I'm saying? He saluted King Masha, and he saluted Elder High Priest Shaquab. He saluted Elder High Priest Ariali, and saluted Elder Apostle Tahar. And I remember just standing there. And like I said, I was at the school. I was there, but these men were younger men though. And they all had white robes on. And I remember just being in amazement, like, wow, you know what I mean? Like, it was like I was there, and then I woke up, and in my head, I'm like, wow, like, I was like, dang, I think I was seeing, a dream, or in my vision, or I believe through the Spirit it was a vision, specifically with the white robes and the men that you see on the screen all looking younger, Like I said, I don't want this lesson to be too long, but I do want to end it off with this precept here. Let's get this. It might be asleep. Yep. 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 15. I ended off with this one. Like I said, I don't want this to be too long. It says, for this, excuse me, turn this off. There we go. It says, for this we say unto you by the word of the Lord, that we which are alive and remain unto the coming of the Lord shall not prevent them which are asleep. And that word asleep means those who have died. All right, King Masha, the High Priest Jaquab, they're in the spirit world. But we believe in faith and through the Spirit that the Lord is going to rise. That the Lord is going to rise. He's going to rise them up in the last day. And when they're risen up, they're not going to have those old, corruptible bodies that they're not going to be in corruptible bodies. They're going to be new, and they're going to be young men. Even us, you know what I'm saying? Like our apostles and our elders, Lord willing, we have that number. We're not going to have these same bodies. We're going to be young. We're going to look like young men, and all of us are going to be pretty much looking in our 100% prime. It says, for the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout. And this is upon Yahawah's return. This lines up with Matthew, the 24th chapter. All right, verses 30, 31. With the voice of the archangel and with the trump of the Most High. And he's going to gather together his elect from the four corners of the earth, right? And the dead in Hamashiach shall rise first. Okay? Those are the ones that are going to arise. Excuse me. Those are the ones that are going to arise first. All right? Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds, which are the chariots, to meet the Lord in the air, and so shall we be with the Lord. Wherefore comfort one another with these words. And I definitely was comforted. Excuse me. I definitely was comforted in that dream that I had, because, it was like I was there, and I remember specifically, a man standing up, out of all the people that was there, at this, it was like I don't want to say it was like a ceremony. It was like I don't want to put like a council. It was like a teaching or something like that. It was like a teaching, and these men were at the table. And I remember out of all the men that stood up, was King Masha stood up, and he was real humble and very, very meek. But he was a young man though. And he stood up and he looked at me and he stuck out his hands like, he was like, hey, what's going on, brother? He stuck his hand out. He saluted me. And he was like a very comforted feeling out of all. I was like, oh, snap. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn. But it wasn't like I was the only one there. He's like, hey, how you doing? How you doing, brother? How you doing? Yahawah Shem Yahushua Barakatah. How you doing, brother? I was like, hey, man, I'm happy that you're here. It was real humble, like extremely meek. And I was like, oh, shit. And then I remember Elder Apostle Rakar walking in, and he saluted, he saluted King Masha first. He saluted Elder High Priest Jaquab. He saluted Elder High Priest Ariel. He saluted King Shah, excuse me, not King Salaki, slip of the tongue. Elder High Priest Shah was there, saluted him. And then Elder Apostle Tahar, he was at the table too. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it was crazy because like in my dream, I knew exactly who those men were. They didn't look like what you see here on the screen, but they all looked young. They all looked young. You know, and the Lord is going to, you know, he's going to renew our body. He's going to renew our strength, as the scripture says in Isaiah the 40th chapter. You know, but like I said, that's all I got. You know, I just want to share that dream that I had last night. It was a heavy dream. You know, and like I said, I prayed to Yahawah Shai before putting this lesson up. You know, and Lord willing, it was edifying and comforting. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahashem Yahawah Shai, Bahashem HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught us his truth and that's still teaching his truth. And as always, much peace, love, and salutation to the elect of Yahawah, Bahashem Yahawah Shai. Until next time I say, Shalom.